you can set up from the all tasks, which is shareable tax, right? I mean, whatever shared offerings we can do from there. Okay. So we'll do from there. So let me open the particular tasks. Okay, go to setup and maintenance. From here we can do the tax configuration. Okay, let's go for the tax regime. So what is this basically is like each country wise or geographic wise where you want your business is applicable, tax applicable, we need to set the tax regime. So here the common set, I mean default information, regulation related, fiscal classification related things will be given in the tax regime level. Okay, so let me just create a country, like country level. So we'll do it for the US. Okay, so I'm doing tax regime setup. Okay, let go to create. So I'm taking a regime level as a country level. Okay, so we can define it. Let's define our own tax regime. So these are the tax zone or country level will take which country we are going to define it. Let's take US. Okay, from when it should start. Okay, let's take one day before. Sometimes system date don't applicable. Okay, so let's take yesterday date, and what tax currency has to be there. Let's select as a US, and minimum accountability. Okay, so you can set it a minimum accountability of tax. Okay, let's select as 0.02 like that. So these are all you can give the controls defaults. Okay, so if you want to enter, if it is not properly calculated, and if you want to override, okay, in the line level, so you can just enable this, so that you can line level, I mean invoice line level, or uh, invoice line level you can override. Okay, and party name, like which business unit we are going to applicable this tax regime. Okay, let give the our business unit over here. I mean this setup similar to our EBS tax. There is no difference, basic difference. Okay, so different tax rules and all we can define it, but we'll use the common configuration. Okay, otherwise you can define party specific different rules we can define it. Okay, we'll take common configuration which are available. Okay, let's give the effective start date.
So this common configuration is set up somewhere already.
Yes, yes. Already it is there. So if the separate rules, you can define it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can define it. Okay. Let use a common configuration. Later you can dig. Okay. So before that, at least let me open the document what they were given. Okay. Tax configuration. So I told right first we are going to define the resume. So and then tax code, basically tax code, which kind of a tax code for a country level what you are uh, defining. Okay, whether it is a sales tax, whether it is a VAT or whatever the tax code basically. And tax status we are going to define, like which kind of tax status, like product or service based, jurisdiction, I mean where you location. Okay, basic location, and then tax rate. So the flow will be like this: first define regime, then under that define the tax code by defaults. These we need to define it. Okay, so I mean, these are all you need to consider, like whom my first party, and as I told, configurations, right? Okay, so these are all basically it is a central place, so you can define for the product or party or process. Okay, so just go through this uh, document. It is very good actually. So the how the flow setup flow will be given. Okay, so complete flow you can go through that. Okay, and rapid implementation also there if you want to load the rates, different rates. Okay, so you can load it by using the rapid implementation sheets. Okay, so just go through this. Okay, and we have a separate withholding tax directly paying to tax authority, that we'll see after once we complete it. Okay, so this document, just go through it, how the flow and what we need to define and all, it is available. Okay, integrations also we can do, like if you are importing from the external system by calling the web services or web services directly, we can import into our tax portal. Okay, so we can do it. Otherwise, even we can use this Nokia data loader for even tax also. We have seen for geographic, right? Similar way, we can use that for taxation. Okay, so you can just go through integration point of view. Okay, so let me finish this. Okay, now define the tax. Okay, let me create the. We'll take VAT or sales tax, whatever. We'll take so select our regime code which we defined. One second. I think we are not, we define this. Why two things are coming? Okay. Okay. Take as a global configuration owner. So we'll take it as ACT US VAT. Already there. Okay. Let's take okay, here tax type. So which kind of tax you are going to define? Service or sales tax, whatever the tax. Okay, goods tax. So we'll take as a VAT. Geographic information. Okay, let's take as a country. So same you can override the calculated tax in the line level if you want to override. Okay. So the other things are not compulsory mandatory. Let's save it so that we can define the default rules. Okay, just go to tax default rules. So here you have jurisdiction, status, and rate. How much rate you want and which exact location, which region you want jurisdiction. So let's create that. Okay. I think for other batch maybe I use ACP jurisdiction. Okay. And select the geographic country. So let's take the geographic name. Okay. So take the default start date. Here we don't require to give it this level. We can give it in tax code level accounts basically. Okay. So jurisdiction the same way you define the status like whether it is product based or service based tax. Okay, we'll just give it I mean detail we can go defaults type code. I mean in detail if you define it, you can go ahead with this, but the basic things is this one. Okay, I'm just going to basic setups. This is enough actually. So depend on your complexity you can just define the other, you can use other defaults. Okay, so let me define the rate as well. Okay, just select the status, whatever we define. So let take 20%. Percentage base or quantity base. So however you want, you can do it. Okay, I'm taking the percentage. So we are not going to see the order to cash, and we are not going to see in the expense level. So we'll try to see in payable. Okay, let's select the procure to pay. Okay, and whatever the percentage, just give as a 20%. So just give as okay, and we'll define the here tax account. So assign the tax account here. Rate level we can assign it. It will be defaulted. Okay. So select our ledger. Okay, our business unit. One second. Okay, just give the tax account. So we'll take the any of the account. Let's take payable account. Tax account, I think it is there. Let me check. Okay, let's take the payable account. Okay, so these are mandatory compulsory setups. So we define the tax regime, we define the tax code. Under that, we define the uh, tax jurisdiction, status, and rate. Okay. So here you can tax applicable. So place of supply. So from where you want to default is from ship to or bill to. So let take as a bill to. Okay, take as a bill to. And if we ship to use to. Okay, we'll take it from ship to and ship to party. Okay. I mean, you can select it from where you want to default the tax. So now we need to go in the supplier level and then set the we need to give whatever we have defined this tax codes, right? In the whichever the supplier you want to, I mean supplier level, we need to give again this whatever we define at the tax configuration level. Okay. So we just created this one, and then now we'll create the owner like payable or receivable. Okay, which business unit and which legal entity, those will define it. So
Sir, as
tax
this tax configuration also come under TC architecture.
tax configuration, no, it won't come as a TC architecture. No, no,
Okay.
it won't come, right? It won't come. Okay. Uh, it's separate. I mean, as a common place, you can define it. I mean, if you while enabling configuration, also you can do it as a separate. You can just set it up, but it is not a TCA architecture. Okay. So let me do the configuration owner. So basically here, which whether you are going to do it for payable or receivable. So we can set here, and which legal entity. Okay, just take it as legal entity. Business unit specific also, I think we can do it. Let's put it at legal entity level. Okay, here application name. Okay, let it take the business unit, so that which application we can select it. Okay, let's take as why it is not coming. It should be there for okay, application is next step. Sorry, let's select as a business. Then application level separate. One more setup is there. I forgot actually. So event class. So from when you want tax needs to be applicable, whether invoice receivable or purchasing or whichever the event class, you can define it. So we'll test it at standard invoice level. Yeah, now it is selected. Okay, standard invoice level. So that under payable standard invoice level, while you are creating this tax owner, we are defining basically. So similarly, you can from proceedings, like which is the higher priority. Okay, so let's take ship to party and ship to party side. So it will check it. Okay, so where it is available, so it will check it and it will take as a preceding one. If ship to party site is not available, ship to party level, whatever available tax, it will be defaulted. Okay, and similarly you can take this one as a standard tax classification codes. So let yeah, here and all
Raj,
yeah, yeah.
Raj, I have one question. We define the tax code only bill to or ship to location. So we can define both level, right?
Both level, build to or ship to. Wherever you give, if you have a different ship to build to location, so wherever given there, I mean, you can set it. The let's take you are using the ship to is separate location, build to is separate location. Okay, whatever we define the tax, you want to give it at ship to or build to level, you can give it. It's up to you. I mean, but we used both as the same ship to and build to, right? So I just taken as a ship to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Raj.
Yeah. So these are all you can take the control. I mean, you can see these controls and all. Okay. So similarly, we'll just application owner. Similarly, application owner also will define. So application tax. What is that? Manage application tax option. Correct. So select the business unit. So application payable, and again same like supplier site. So like this you can give the preceding default order. So let's take as a rounding option also as a USD. So these are the minimum, I mean setups, like different regime, tax code, jurisdiction, and then you need to set it at application owner and then application. Okay. Now this things supplier level you can default it. Okay. So we have supplier, right? So we'll give this whatever we define for the our supplier, and then we'll try to create the invoice. So it should automatically calculate the, based on invoice amount, 20% the tax has to be calculated. So let's go to suppliers. These suppliers. Okay. We have ACT to we have done merging also, right? Let me check which is the suppliers. Okay, we'll take a corporate supplier. You can see here transaction tax. This is supplier level. Okay. So general controls. So allow tax, and I mean rounding, like if you want to round it at header level or line level, you can make rounding nearest or down or up. Okay. Let's take as a nearest, and then this it's not required anyway. Directly we can go for tax registration. So whatever the regime, jurisdiction, whatever we define, just select that. Okay. Regime code, tax code, and jurisdiction. Okay. So general not required. Okay. General we made it as allow tax applicable, right? So this is enough. We'll see. I think it should enough. These two things is enough to calculate the tax. Okay. Then similarly, this is at supplier level. So similarly, we'll go for the site, and site level also we'll give. Oh, so basically, it is not site level, address level. So that's what I mean. Whatever now address, it automatically they divided. Some of the things they made it in address level. Some of the things they made it in supplier level. Okay, they divided here contacts and all. Here it is available here, not in the supplier side level. Similarly, this transaction tax.
So what is the difference between address and tax? Sorry, address and site.
Address and site difference. You are asking difference in address and site, or why they are divided as a. No, no. See,
Yeah, I mean,
in EBS, what how it will be is once you create a supplier, then directly you will create a address. Automatically, it will create as a site, right? There, you don't create an address separately, site separately, right? But they have
correct,
given option.
correct.
Yeah, they have given option here as separate address creation and site creation. So maybe you can use this address for the different sites. Like you can define the build to location and ship to location and give the address. But they are divided.
Okay.
Yeah, they are divided address part as a separate. But basically, once you creating while creating the site, automatically once you select as this address, by default the address only it will come as a site name. So there you can change it. Okay, and they separated like this contact. I mean, some of the setups they separated. I think underlying there is some things will be useful. I mean, address level and site level they used it. Okay, so we need to debug. I mean, we need to go detail what exactly the changes. Okay. Basically, in EBS, it will be like at a stretch. Once you created address, automatically creates, right? Is Abhijit? Okay, I will tell you
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, I will
So
tell you one thing.
once we uh,
Yeah, while you write a check printing right there, so supplier site level there is no contacts. Okay, but actually the contacts is compulsory for the EFT or ACH payments. So they will ask the way contact sites again. We internally, if you give address level, address will be internally linked with the site, right? So it will fetch from here and then print over there. Okay, I got it. I got it. Why they separated? What is the internal logic you are trying to get it right? Is that you are looking for?
yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah, I got it.
yeah. Okay, just we'll make it as nearest. So same whatever we are given here site level. This nothing but a site only. I mean, it will automatically interlink. Okay. Okay, if you see here, so it is directly interlinked with the this is address interlinked with the site. So without address, site cannot be created. So some interlink. Anyway, we'll see. While what happened? Once again. Okay, we just set it at site level. I mean address level and I mean supplier level and site level. Let's try to. Hello, Abhijit. I think you are in unmute. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
I'm here only.
Yeah. No, no. I mean, you are, I think, you unmute, so some noise came. Okay. Yeah. So let me try to create a invoice. Whether it will calculate or not, we'll see. So let me select both. Okay, let's take 10,000. Okay, just make it as a calculated tax. It is not calculating. Yeah, I got it. Okay, I think we didn't simulate setup. Okay, let me go to setup and maintenance. Where manage tax. What is our tax? Where is it? Okay, this is the one, right? Okay, select this. Uh, now edit. Okay, edit. This enable. We didn't enable. Okay, if you enable tax for transactions, if you are not enabling, it won't calculate. Okay, we didn't enable this. We defined, but we didn't enable. Right? Let me. So let's go to invoice. We'll try to query that the same invoice. We'll try to. Okay. So based on 20%, 2000 is calculated. So let's change the header level because variance is different, right? So okay. So like this, you can set it different tax codes. I mean different tax.
Raj, during the tax setup, we have not defined the code combination against the particular tax type.
Yeah, we didn't define. I just used existing code combination, but we can define You want to define the tax code combination as well? I mean, let's see. I think we used the same account, right? Same account, we just used it. Otherwise we can define and then.
Okay.
So here I used the same right here. Otherwise if you make it as a separate account, this would have captured in separately. I think all I am using the same accounts, which is not correct actually. Different accounts has to be there here. Okay, so you can define it, and that wherever we have, I mean in the tax rate level we have given the tax account, right? So the particular account you can give there, that will be captured in the tax account. Okay, is that clear? So you just go through this document. I mean, so I have not basic things I covered.